crowd and walk in a thin line. We all displaced, but carry the same mind at the same time. Take a look at his place, full and empty all at the same time. So if that's the case, we are one, we are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming today. Let me take this opportunity to welcome candidates, agents, counting agents and guests to the count for the Highland Council Ward 21, Fort William and Ardnamurchan by-election. My name is Alan Gunn and I'm the returning officer. Let me introduce my deputy return officers who will be able to assist you with any questions you may have during this count. I will now ask them to make themselves known to you. Alison Clark. Erin Fraser. Liam Clancy. Stuart Fraser. Linda Johnston. And Sheila Armstrong. The team is supported by our election and corporate communication staff. We also have pupils from Lochaber High School with us today who will be assisting with the ballot box opening and will be able to stay to observe and experience democracy in action. Information about the e-count and the process can be found in our count booklet that has been made available to you. The large screens in the hall are dedicated to displaying the progress of the e-count and returning officer adjudication. Please ask questions during the process and not at the end. We have officers on the floor to assist and provide you with information. Now, some housekeeping rules, if I may. We ask that you refrain from using mobile phones to take photos or to post messages on social media during the count. If you must have them on, please turn them to silent mode. And if you need to make a call or make a call or answer a call, please step outside of the count hall. There will be no planned fire drill today. If the fire alarm does sound, please leave by the exit and gather at the muster point, which is located just outside of the count hall entrance door. Staff will be on hand to direct you to exit the building. We will now start with the opening of the ballot boxes and will keep you informed of the various stages throughout the process. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. Good luck. Thank you.
Good morning, it's Graham Mackay here and welcome to our coverage of the count for the Ward 21 Fort William and Ardnamurchan by-election, coming to you live from our count centre in Fort William. During the broadcast today, we'll be muting the sound while the count process is underway, but we'll bring you any important announcements as they happen, including the declaration for the ward later today. We'll also have a video coming up that explains the single transferable vote system that is used for this by-election count. What you see on screen here in Fort William is what is relayed across the count centre. To keep up to date with what is happening, look out for the key messages on screen. If the stream pauses for any reason, just refresh your link on YouTube and the live stream will reload. You can also get updates on our social media at Highland Council on Facebook and X, and the full results will be posted on our website highland.gov.uk/by-election. So thanks for joining us this morning. Sit back and follow our live stream of this by-election count for Ward 21, Fort William and Ardnamurchan. Good morning, it's Graham Mackay here and welcome to our coverage of the count for the Ward 21.
In this election, the voting system used is called single transferable vote. Here's the lowdown. Each council in Scotland is divided into smaller areas called wards. Depending on the ward you live in, you will be voting to elect anywhere between 1 and 5 councillors. You may already know that you need to number the candidates on your ballot paper in order of your choice. But do you know how the votes are counted and how people get elected? To be elected under this voting system, a candidate must reach a set amount of votes, known as the quota. So what is the quota? The quota is calculated by dividing the total number of valid votes cast by the number of seats to be elected plus 1 seat. A 1 is then added to that result. For example, with 500 ballot papers and 4 seats to be filled, the quota would be 101. The votes are counted in stages. Stage 1. Only first preferences are counted. Anyone who reaches the quota is elected. Stage 2. Any votes received for a candidate above the quota are transferred to the next choice on each of those ballot papers. If no candidate has enough votes to reach the quota, the candidate with the lowest number of votes is eliminated. Stage 3. All of their votes are passed to the next preference on those ballot papers. This process is repeated until all seats up for election have been filled and your councillors have been elected. Got it? Great work!
Sheila and Stuart will start the adjudication. First line. Thank you. Can I have your attention, please? I'm just going to explain you something. We found actually two postal packs in the ballot box, and that sometimes happens. So what we do in that scenario, we actually had to create another box. We added a box to all of our postal boxes and ballot boxes, and we had to do a verification process to accept that ballot paper, of course, with our electoral registration office. So in front of you, I got here 2 ballot papers. What I'm going to do now, extract the ballot paper, put it in the box, and it will be basically manually entered into the system and counted. Okay? Everybody happy with that? Thank you. Your attention, please. I have the turnout figures. So the turnout for Ward 21, Fort William and Ardnamurchan, the total elected was 8,888. The total ballot papers verified was 2,305, and the percentage turnout was 25.9%. Thank you.
verification phase of this by-election. So the first one to show here is I would be rejecting the grounds of no clear first preference. Okay. Okay. This one here, although the one for MacDonald is at an angle, I would be looking at this one and suggesting that the voter's intention is 1 for MacDonald, 2 for Peel, and 3 for Prosser. Is that okay? Here. In terms of this one, I think we'll just double check, just request that ballot just to see it in hard copy, just to make sure. Now, this one here, the voter would appear, I think, is possibly put in crosses at MacDonald and Prosser initially, and then realised in terms of putting in a number, and has put 1 for MacDonald, and whilst they've initialed it, the voter's identity is not clear. It's fine. Pardon? I think they have, yeah, just because to me, I think reading it looks as though they put a cross and then changed it to a number. And as I say, although they've initialed it, the voter's identity is not clear from terms of what they've done. So I would say, looking at this one, the voter's intention is MacDonald at 1, Prosser at 2, and Peel at 3. Okay, good vote. And this would be, well, void for uncertainty, although a slight contradiction in terms there, but we'll go void for uncertainty on that one. I think this one, Linda, will just request the ballot just to check. It's a clear one for Prosser, but I'm not quite sure if that's a mark or just a fold at Crookwood, so maybe just request that one, please. I think in this one we'll request the ballot as well. It says it's 1 for McLean, 2 for Prosser, but I'd just like to double check the Crookwood and Peel marks. And there's no first preference, so this ballot would be rejected. Again, void for uncertainty. Unfortunately, this ballot would be rejected. And more than one first preference, so unfortunately, no first preference, so this would be rejected. And in terms of this one, I would reject this on the basis of void for uncertainty. Looking at this one here, I think for MacDonald, I think they've originally put in an X and then tried to put a 1 over that. So I would be happy to accept that on the basis of 1 for MacDonald. That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think we'll just request that ballot, Linda, please, just to double check the line. It looks like a 1 for Prosser, but let's just check it. And this one would be no clear first preference, so unfortunately that vote would need to be rejected. I think we'll request the ballot for this. It looks like there's both a cross and a 1 beneath, but would like to just check is whether the voter has actually tried to then subsequently score it out. Maybe seeing a hard copy, if that would be helpful. Request the ballot. I saw this one, yep. For this, so in my opinion, there's a 1 for McLean and a 2 for Crookwood, and because I put crosses against the remaining blank boxes, my decisions would be that this could be accepted as a 1 for McLean and 2 for Crookwood. Okay. There is a mark detected, as you can see, but I think from the voter's intention, I'd be proposing 1 for MacDonald, 2 for Prosser, 3 for Peel, 4 for Pereira, 5 for Crookwood, and 6 for McLean. happy to accept. Unfortunately, to reject this one, there's no clear first preference. Unfortunately, this one would need to be rejected on the grounds of void for uncertainty. I think I'd like to see that one request that ballot, because what I'm not, it's clearly a 1 at the bottom, but what I'm not clear about is that McLean, is that a 2 to the right hand side of the X? So I'd like just to see that one just in hard copy, please. And unfortunately, to reject this one on the grounds that there's more than one first preference. And again, more than one first preference, so that would need to be rejected. This is a test. So, I share my thoughts on this. I've got my suspicions why they may have done the 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 5. At first, Prosser's 1, McDonald's 2, and Pereira is 3. Obviously, you can't vote for the same person more than once. If it was to be in fractions, if they were doing this, let me just test myself. Prosser would be 0.25, McDonald would be 0.4, and Pereira would be 0.5. So the order would be the same. 1, 2, 3, starting with the lowest. So my decision on this one would be 1 for Prosser, 2 for McDonald, and 3 for Pereira. Is that? It would be still, it would be 0.5. Yeah, yeah. Same order, exactly. Yeah. So okay to accept on that basis? They're testing my time here. So unfortunately, this needs to be rejected on the basis of no first preference. I think looking at this one, Prosser at 1, that maybe originally put in an X, put in the 1. No, that mark looks a transfer to me, Linda, so I think that's right. So I'd say 1 for Prosser and accept that as a vote. Yeah. Unfortunately, this needs to be rejected on the basis of no first or more than one first preference. And this one would need to be rejected on the grounds of, well, no first preference. And this one here, I would request the ballot just to check. It does look as though there may be a break in sequence after 1 for Crookwood, but I'd just like to double check the entries for the 3 that have been scored out, just to check. Okay. Thank you. Okay, just a couple to go. So in terms of McDonald, this vote, I would say the voters' intention is 1 for McDonald, and I'd be comfortable to accept that as a vote. Okay, accept that. And the final one is, unfortunately, there is no first preference, so this vote would need to be rejected. Okay. So what we'll do now, though, is when we'll get the remaining, again, that would need to be rejected on the basis of no first preference. that's the last one. What we'll now do is for those that have requested ballots, let's have a good look and then discuss each one and make a final decision on each one. Thank you. Come closer to have a look at the ballot itself. This is one where we weren't sure whether or not, whilst the one is clear, we weren't sure if at McLean there was that figure number 2 shown, and I would say, looking at this, this should be a 1 for Prosser and a 2 for McLean. Okay. This one here, it was clear it was a 1 for McLean and 2 for Prosser, and what we're not sure about was the faint mark at Peel and Crookwood. But what we do is, if you folded it over, it's actually the ink is actually going from the 2 and the 1. So my decision would be 1 for McLean and 2 for Prosser for that vote. Yeah, and similarly, this vote here, clearly 1 for Prosser, and the faint mark at Crookwood is if you fold it over, that's where that mark is. So it's not the voter's intention on this one is 1 for Prosser. So this one here, as I thought, it's a clear a 1 for Prosser as a vote. Happy to accept. Okay. Thank you. Now this one here for Prosser, a dilemma and one I've been having a wee think about. I'm not quite sure whether or not the voter's intention is sufficiently clear. There could be a 1 in there, there could be a 2, it could be a 1 and it's crossed out. I'm just not sufficiently clear on that one, so yeah. No. I'm not sure. It could be crossed out as well, with the 1 is slightly marked. Cross it out, that makes me nervous, so I'm not sufficiently certain to accept that as a vote, so I would be rejecting that on the basis of void for uncertainty. Okay. In this one here, the mark has actually been sellotaped, so it's clearly 1 for McLean. And this one here is clearly 1 for Crookwood, but then in my opinion, there's a break in sequence and vote. The next clearest number is 5 at Peel. So my view would be this is a 1 for Crookwood, an acceptable vote. Thank you. Yeah. That ends the count, folks, and now we'll go on to the final count, and we'll be in touch very soon. Thank you.
if the election agents and the candidates could make their way over here, and we will go behind the curtain very soon. Thank you. Election agents and candidates, please. Thank you.
I will now declare the result of the election in the Ward 21, Fort William and Ardnamurchan. There is one councillor to be elected. The electorate was 8,888 and the number of ballot papers received was 2,305, giving a percentage turnout of 25.9%. There were 17 rejected ballot papers. The quota of votes for a candidate to be elected was 1,145. The number of first preference votes for each of the candidates was as follows. Candidate name Ollie Crookwood, Scottish Greens, 216. Alan MacDonald, Reform UK, 220. Noddy McLean, Scottish National Party, SNP, 665. Julia Peel, Scottish Conservative and Unionist, 175. Michael Robert Pereira, Scottish Labour Party, 87. And Matthew Prosser, Scottish Liberal Democrats, 925. After application of the election rules, I declare that the following is elected as councillor for the Ward 21, Fort William and Ardnamurchan. Matthew Prosser, Scottish Liberal Democrats, stage which candidate was elected, stage 5. Matthew Prosser, if you'd like to come out and say a few words.
First of all, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the returning officer and his staff and elections team for a smooth election process, and Rockhaber High School pupils for the count. I would also like to thank the fellow candidates for giving the people of our ward a choice. My election agent, Innes, I know it's not been the best deal with me at times, but thank you very much. All the volunteers who have stuffed envelopes, delivered leaflets, knocked on doors, helped me put up posters on lampposts. The voters of Fort William Ardnamurchan who have put their faith in me. I feel proud and honoured to have won this by-election. It really shows the faith that my ward has in me, and I plan to repay that faith first thing Monday morning. Thank you very much.
Folks, perhaps I could just take this opportunity of thanking everybody involved in making this election run so smoothly. There's various people at work behind the scenes. I'd just like to thank everybody and appreciate everybody taking the time to attend today. Thank you very much. Safe journey home and have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye.
It's Graham here again, and that is the end to our live broadcast today for the Ward 21 Fort William and Ardnamurchan by-election. Thank you for taking the time to vote, and congratulations to the elected member. All the results from today will be posted online shortly at highland.gov.uk/by-election. And finally, from everyone in the elections team, thank you for tuning in and have a great Christmas and New Year when it comes.